Hello, and welcome to Popcorn News. Something to watch while you eat popcorn. Going hitchhiking in Syria? Then you will want to bring along the Hitchhiker's Guide to Syria. A different book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, was written by Douglas Adams. In that book, Arthur Dent, an Englishman, awakens to find a bulldozer is about to destroy his house. What's going on, he asks. Your house must be removed for a new highway construction project, he is told. But why wasn't I told about this in advance? Dent asks. It turns out that somewhere in some office, notice had been given. But how was Dent to realistically have discovered the notice? No matter. All must yield to progress.
But Mr. Dent, the plans have been available in the planning office for the last 9 months.
Oh, yes. Well, of course, as soon as I heard, I went straight round to see them. You hadn't exactly gone out of your way to call much attention to them, had you? Like telling anybody or anything?
But the plans were on display.
On display? I eventually had to go down to the cellar.
That's the display department.
With a torch.
The lights are probably gone.
So had the stairs.
But then, on the same day, in a larger context, the Earth itself has been scheduled for obliteration. Progress is progress, and Earth must be removed so that a hyperspatial express route can be built. Why weren't the earthlings given advance notice? Well, it turns out advance notice had been given, posted in some intergalactic office a few years back.
People of Earth, your attention please. This is Prostetnik Bogonjelts of the Galactic Hyperspace Planning Council. As you are probably aware, the plans for the development of the outlying regions of the western spiral arm of the galaxy require the building of a hyperspace express route through your star system. And regrettably, your planet is one of those scheduled for demolition. The process will take slightly less than 2 of your Earth minutes. Thank you very much. All the planning charts and demolition orders have been on display at your local planning department at Alpha Centauri for 50 of your Earth years. And so you've had plenty of time to lodge any formal complaints, and it's far too late to start making a fuss about it now.
Syria is something like this too. Somewhere, in some obscure office, notice had been given that Syria, as such, was to be obliterated, to make way for a construction project, which was to redraw the map of the region. Included were to be brand new stands, such as Sunnistan. Also to be created are Alawitistan, Kurdistan, and Shiitistan. with no stands being created for Christians in the region, who will have to be either transferred to Europe or exterminated. So the Syrians one day, just like Arthur Dent, awoke to find bulldozers leveling their nation. Why weren't the Syrians given advance notice? Well, somewhere or other, a notice had been posted. And anyway, progress is progress. Maybe it should be called the Syrian Hitchhiker's Guide to Europe instead of the Hitchhiker's Guide to Syria. Because now, consequent to the bulldozing of their nation, refugees from Syria are, in a sense, hitchhiking their way through Europe. However, as it turns out, many Europeans are not happy about all these Syrian hitchhikers, and there has been unfriendly talk.
Swedish Prime Minister Stefan Löfven, leader of the Swedish Social Democratic Party, has finally announced that Sweden is no longer capable of maintaining the crushing weight of the hordes of Syrian refugees flooding the country. The numbers don't lie. 10,000 migrants a week and an estimate of 190,000 new refugees will inhabit Sweden by the end of the year.
If you say this in Sweden, you're considered a racist. Even if you never say that we're going to stop immigration, we have to kick everybody out, it's considered racism to criticize the politics for immigration and asylum.
The Scandinavian Viking berserker rage is beginning to boil. Protesters in Sweden have burned down 17 immigration centers in the past 2 months. But the refugees continue to stoke the fire, bringing the violence of Syria to their hosts. Immigrant riots spring up weekly in Sweden, and refugees in Malmö, Sweden, are blowing up cars and police vehicles with grenade attacks.
Do not expect instant answers to this dilemma from Popcorn News. Whoever planned the bulldozer project in Syria, though, bears liability for what has happened. Foreseen is that the Syrian hitchhikers in Europe will evolve into traveling caravans. This may have been what happened long ago in the case of the Gypsies. The name Gypsies is thought to have as its root Egypt. Drop the first and last letters from Egypt and you have GYP, which may be why they came to be called GYPCs, or in other words, Gypsies. Imagine that long ago, an ancient bulldozer project caused the Gypsies to flee to Europe, where they were shunned and had to adapt into traveling caravans. This might be what will be happening in the case of the Syrian hitchhikers. Thank you for watching Popcorn News.